Good morning and welcome back. So we've seen gas prices drop a lot over the last month since those all-time highs. They've dropped more than $1 since just mid-June.
Love to see that, but the cost of groceries and housing, that continues to climb. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates at least 3 more times this year, including at least a half point in September. So credit cards, car payments, and loans will all be more expensive.
Inflation is coming down, but it's not dropping as fast as a lot of households need. I think that low-income families are really feeling the pinch here.
The next significant read on the economy will be this Friday when the Labor Department releases its jobs report for August. Wasn't the last jobs report pretty promising, though?
It was all right.
Okay.
It was better than expected.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
All right, turn to weather right now. So Justin, yesterday we were in the dome all day. We were enjoying the air conditioning. Happy belated, by the way.
Say it one more time.
We wish you happy birthday on the air yesterday from the Alamo Dome.
You did. I appreciate it.
Your cake. We got to get a picture up of your cake at one point.
It's pretty awesome. Right?
It was fantastic.
Sunday forecast. Weather related. Loved it. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Great day yesterday. You know, it was hot outside, but not in the dome. The dome felt great. You know, we're looking at this summer, and temperatures have been so incredibly hot, May included, but June, July, August. So this is what we call the meteorological summer, and we can take those stats. And as of right now, actually as of Friday, we are looking at the hottest summer on record here in San Antonio, 88.2. But here's what I'll tell you, with the temperatures coming up a little bit below average, we actually could fall below 2011 and finish in second place for the hottest summer on record. We'll see. That would be a great thing. I don't think anyone would be complaining, but as of right now, we're still on top here in 2022. Here are the forecast high temperatures today. 96 here in San Antonio. So we will actually be right about average, maybe a little bit above this afternoon. 93 in Fair Oaks Ranch, 95 San Marcos, 95 Hondo, 92 in Uvalde. And yes, we'll be up around 96, but that feels like number 103. So it'll still be very high when we're talking about the heat index. Still got to be careful. I mean, that's kind of sneaky, right? You think the temperature is 96, but you go out there, it feels a lot warmer than that, and there's not much of a breeze. So it is going to be very, very hot and humid today. 76 Hondo, 78 Cotulla, 75 New Braunfels. A lot of places in the 70s right now here in San Antonio. And as we go outside for you, temperatures are sitting at 78, mostly cloudy. The morning clouds have already shifted in here in San Antonio. 2.74 southerly winds at 7 miles per hour. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 80 degrees at 9 o'clock. By noontime, 87. And by the afternoon, there is a 10% chance of rain. We'll call it partly cloudy. Yeah, there could be a pop-up here or there, but I don't expect much on the radar today. It's not until next week that the rain chances really start to jump up. Here's the big picture across the country. We've got showers and storms lining up from the plains up through the Midwest. Not much here around Texas, and in general, this is a pretty quiet scenario for much of the country. But we do start to see things change, again, as we get into next week. And here's a look at the forecast for today. Again, just a 10% chance of rain, 1 or 2 showers on the radar. Tomorrow, a little bit more coverage, and you're going to find that generally along the coast. We've got some deeper moisture moving in, so we'll see some pop-ups. This is noontime tomorrow. Victoria down to Beeville, and then some of that works inland. So we'll call for a 20% chance of rain Monday afternoon. Then as we get into, say, Tuesday, Wednesday, our rain chances start to pop up even more. And think last week. That's when we had kind of a similar scenario. So we've got some tropical moisture moving in, weak frontal boundary, and those two things combined will give us better rain chances. This moisture, which this orange color here represents deeper moisture in the atmosphere, this tropical moisture, starts to shift in tomorrow along the coast. That's why we see better rain chances there. And by Tuesday and Wednesday, this tropical moisture is overspreading much of the area. So that's tropical air mass. You get those pop-up showers and storms, and some of those could be heavy. So rain chances jump up to 40% Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I think even Friday and Saturday, we may be able to bring those rain chances up too. So this is promising coming up. Very quickly in the tropics, there's a lot to look at here. As you go out into the Atlantic, 20% chance with this wave, 60% chance with this wave, 20% chance with that wave up north, and then it's this one, 20% chance of development by Thursday. Not much there, but if we can get something going, may come to the Gulf of Mexico, bear some watch. Right now, I don't think this really does a whole lot for us, But again, it needs to be watched. We don't even have anything there yet, so there's nothing to be concerned about just yet. If we get some names going here, which looks like we might, Danielle, Earl, and Fiona are next in line. Your extended forecast, 95 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain, 40% chance, as I said, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some pockets of heavy rain. That brings temperatures down. Even going into next weekend, looks like it could be somewhat rainy, guys. Whoa. Incredible.
I'm loving this August. I really was not a fan of July.
Well, because July, first off, we saw like no storms on the graphic. It was all triple digits. We got double digits, and we have storm chances almost every day.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Bringing the great spirit today. 617, 77 degrees out.
Well, still ahead, this story is for me. If you're a wino or just enjoy a good glass of wine, today is your day. We'll tell you why before 6:30.
And up next, one traveler in North Carolina at the airport letting freedom ring. And yes, that is a full-size bald eagle. We're going to explain more.
Personal loan.
All right, this one's for all you frequent flyers out there.
America.
Okay.
That's all I have to say. So have you've seen anything strange at the airport before? Have you seen anything strange?
I love people watching and animal watching at the airport.
Okay. I've seen dogs. That was pretty much the weirdest thing I've seen. But take a look at this. We're going to add this one to the list. A bald eagle going through security at an airport in North Carolina.
Caca! Look at it. In the tweet, the TSA says the bird named Clark, Clark, is part of the World Bird Sanctuary. So bald eagles were removed from the endangered list back in 2007, but remain protected by a pair of government acts.
Okay, well, you know what? It looks like Clark made his way through security.
I was reading that they usually put these animals that are in the separate room for security, but for some reason, it was out in the public, so everyone saw it.
It's amazing. It's, inspirational.
Very inspirational. How about this? Is this inspirational? A resident of the city of Brotherly Love had an unexpected wildlife. Yes, look at your screen now. This happened on Friday. Wally the alligator paid a visit to Philadelphia's Love Park to cool himself in the fountains. The reptile is also a TikTok star. Of course he is. He makes more money than us, Max. Licensed emotional support animal at 7 years old. Wally is currently in the lead of a new pet popularity contest, America's Favorite Pet, the Animal Kingdom. Wally's go-to treats are cheese puffs and raw chicken. I'm sorry. I would be terrified if I was a child playing that splash pad.
You know what? Good for Wally. He looks like he kept calm and did not bother anyone's day.
Keep it like that, Wally.
Yeah. Time now, 6:22, 77 degrees out.
Coming up, there's a new ice cream that many people enjoy after they're done eating. Okay, we'll explain this after this.
Family leisure.
Good morning and welcome back. So new this morning, an ice cream place in Minnesota, they have a dish that people can enjoy after they're actually done eating. It's because, well, this is a new Pineapple Express ice cream, and it contains 50 milligrams of THC. Heads up, though, if you do head to Minnesota and you want to buy it, it is $50 a pint. It's an expensive pint. So the ice cream actually
Is it legal?
Well, wait for the next part of the story. I'm going to tell you the ice cream was made possible because of a new Minnesota law that makes THC edibles legal.
There it is.
There you go. So the name actually comes from the pineapple upside down cake, delicious kind of cake. You might recognize it from the famous marijuana-themed comedy. And of course, because of local laws in Minnesota, you have to be 21 years or older to actually buy and eat it.
All right, this one's more my jam here. So if you like wine, today is your day because it's National Red Wine Day. So the official holiday started back in 2014. So from Merlot, Pinot Noir, Shiraz, or Cabernet, don't hesitate to pour yourself a glass or two or three. And if you have one in your fridge right now, don't worry about bringing it out to chill on room temperature. Experts say it's cool to drink it cold. I agree with them.
Red wine cold?
Yes, it was summer. So people ask, well, what do you prefer, red or white? And I say, well, it depends what season it is. Because I usually drink white in the summer, but I've recently started drinking more red in the summer. Because you know what, no shame. I'm going to put my red wine in the fridge.
Anyone who is very interested in Sarah Costa's wine drinking habits at 6:27 a.m., you now have your answer. It is 6:27, 77 degrees out.
All right, still to come. At 6:30, dozens of people from the Uvalde community demanding action from the governor on gun safety laws. We'll hear from those.
And we're getting you caught up on what happened yesterday and last night at the amazing, extraordinary KSAT Pigskin Classic. And the name delivers because 3 classics. Don't miss the sights and sounds. Good morning, welcome back, and happy Sunday. It is 6:31 this morning. It is August 28th. And hey, high school football has already started.
Oh my gosh, I've said this earlier. It's gonna be weird going to a regular game.
Yeah.
Like,
we're talking about the KSAT Pigskin Classic, which was
obviously
amazing yesterday.
The games were incredible. The atmosphere in the dome was amazing. Kudos to everyone at KSAT that worked long hours yesterday, but really it goes to the players who put on they played amazing games.
Oh yeah, Justin Horn, how long were you out there yesterday?
I was out there for the first game, but the fan bases too. I mean, it was electric. You guys are right. A lot of people showed up to support their teams, and we love high school football around these parts. So great to see everybody yesterday. It was a great turnout. Hey, you know, we're going to get some rain chances coming up. And it's pretty exciting. Last week we got some rain. This week we're going to have some more opportunities. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think are kind of the time frame where we could see our best rain chances. Right now we're looking at about a 40% chance. Scattered showers and downpours. Some of those could be heavy. So August has been good to us after what was a really, really long, hot summer. 96 degrees today. 10% chance of rain. Southerly winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. I want to show you guys a picture. Speaking of the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Yesterday, some Smithson Valley fans. Rose, second from the left there. She won the chance to kick the field goal.
Oh, I watched her kick her field goal.
Yes, for some Las Palapas. I think she still got a gift card of some sort.
She didn't make the field goal, but I think it was brave of her to go out there.
Not everyone can be Sarah Spivey, right? She did a great job, but it was a lot of fun. And we appreciate everyone coming out yesterday to the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Pollen count. If you missed it yesterday, molds were high, fall elm, pigweed low, and the forecast for today, we'll take it all the way up to 96, just a 10% chance of rain, as we said. Heat index, by the way, up over 100 degrees. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. New this morning, police investigating an overnight shooting on the city's east side, a shooting that happened near the AT&T Center.
Our Jonathan Cotto live with the latest details. Good morning, Jonathan. Are police saying anything about the victim?
Good morning, Sarah. Well, this is an interesting situation because police are not only searching for a suspect involved in the shooting, but they're also looking for an actual crime scene. And that's because San Antonio police say the victim was able to drive home, get home, and call for help and alert them that he had been shot. But the question here, and what remains unclear, is by who and, more importantly, where. So we know San Antonio police responded to the 100 block of Orphan Street. This is near North New Braunfels and East Houston on the city's east side. They say when they arrived, they found the victim in his truck with a gunshot wound to the body. Police tell us the victim's truck did have several bullet holes on the door, but again, all of this is still under investigation. The victim did tell police that he was shot at a couple blocks away from his home. Again, he was able to get there, call for help, but again, they have no information as to where this took place and no information on the suspect. He was taken to BAMC. He is expected to be okay. Police are hoping to be able to question him later on today. This case remains under investigation. Maxar reporting live. Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Jonathan. This morning, family members of the Robb Elementary shooting, the victims' family members, they're taking a stand. They're marching outside of the Texas State Capitol. They're demanding that Governor Greg Abbott call a special session on gun safety laws.
They, along with dozens of others, made the trip to Austin and take part in the March for Our Lives rally. This event comes a little more than 3 months after the tragedy in Uvalde. Family members say easy access to the AR-15 style rifle, that's a major problem. They want state leaders and Governor Abbott to make it more difficult for people to buy them.
We've been in this fight, and Greg Abbott, I'm asking you to do something. You sat us at a round table, you promised a bunch of things to us, and you failed us.
An act of cowardice and senseless gun.
Well, offering the Uvalde family members support during the rally were survivors and families from other mass shootings, like the 2018 Santa Fe high school shooting, where 10 people died.
Back here at home, 8 people in Bexar County Jail after a series of shootings in Converse. Bexar County Sheriff's Office officials tell us it all started when deputies went to check out a home on Estrid Trail. This after reports of several overnight shootings. Now, when deputies were finally able to get inside the home, they arrested 3 adults and 2 juveniles. 2 more juveniles arrested outside the home, and the last made their way inside a nearby Walmart. Now, because they went to Walmart, it caused the store to be evacuated just as a precaution. He was eventually arrested. Officials say no one was injured from any of the numerous shootings, but several guns were collected at each scene.
A federal judge in Florida is now asking the Justice Department to provide more specific information about those classified records that were removed from former President Donald Trump's Florida estate.
So all this comes after the judge considered appointing a special master, someone to review the seized documents. ABC's Christine Sloan explains.
A federal judge appears to be leaning toward appointing a special master to oversee the review of evidence federal investigators recovered from their search of Mar-a-Lago. Former President Donald Trump's legal team made the request. In a notice posted Saturday, the judge who was appointed by Trump scheduled arguments for September 1st. The director of national intelligence is set to evaluate the potential risks to national security that may have resulted from classified documents being held at Mar-a-Lago. Democratic House committee chairs had pushed for a review, saying after seeing the unsealed affidavit, quote, "It is critical that the intelligence community move swiftly to assess and, if necessary, to mitigate the damage done." The affidavit was used in the FBI request for a warrant to search Mar-a-Lago. The document is highly redacted. The DOJ explained those redactions, writing the government has well-founded concerns that steps may be taken to frustrate or otherwise interfere with this investigation if facts in the affidavit were prematurely disclosed.
The affidavit itself even says that it requests to be sealed because there are unidentified parties that they are still looking at and other charges that could come out of this.
Former President Trump has been critical of the investigation and claims he did nothing wrong. But despite his criticism of the redactions in the affidavit, his legal team did not argue for its release in court. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Here at home, according to Redfin, the average price of a home in San Antonio last month was $295,000. That's a 12% increase since the same time last year. So with a questionable economy and less offers on local homes, how does the local real estate market look, and what comes next? The CEO of Keller Williams Heritage, Jack Hawthorne, set to join us live on Leading SA this morning. He's going to be breaking it all down, so if you have any questions about the local real estate market, what's happening, and what comes next, you can submit those questions right now. Just head to the Leading SA section of KSAT.com. Join us at 8 a.m. for our full conversation. Time now, 6:38, 77 degrees out.
Still ahead on GMSA, the KSAT Pigskin Classic featured not 1, not 2, but 3 amazing games that some people are already calling instant classics. Will take you to the sights and sounds of the dome.
And up next, NASA says they are ready for takeoff. The Artemis rocket, we've been talking about it for a while now. They're getting ready for tomorrow's mission. We're going to explain in just moments.
Back here on Earth, 77 degrees at 6:39. Justin Horn is in the day after his birthday.
He was in on the day on his birthday, too.
All weekend, Justin. You'll have his love the forecast when we come back.
Go.
Over 50 years after NASA's Apollo missions paved America's way to the moon, we're once again counting down to a new era in space exploration.
So Monday's planned Artemis 1 mission is NASA's first launch of its new space rocket. The rocket is 322 feet tall, which, Sarah?
Taller than the Statue of Liberty.
There we go. We joke because she was like, I'm just imagining a Statue of Liberty flying into space. It's also the most powerful rocket ever built, but unlike SpaceX, the rocket is not reusable. Only the Orion spacecraft will return to Earth after it orbits the moon. No human will be on board for this first test. Now, the plan is to build, yes, a moon base in the future to explore deep space.
We're planning to set up a base camp there on the surface of the moon and develop technologies and operational practices that will set us up to go further on to Mars.
Orion's trek back to Earth will reach speeds of 25,000 miles an hour, generating temperatures of more than 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Would you live on the moon? Would you, like, if they're like...
I would visit. I would definitely visit.
Is it vacation?
I would say is like a news element. I don't know what there would be to do other than like hang out in a little moon shelter.
Like float?
That'd be cool for like 10 minutes. I don't know after that.
Who would you send to the moon, right?
Not me. I'm not going. I'm staying here. I like gravity.
I volunteer. I'll go. Justin, you coming with me?
Sure. Why not? It's like the movies, though. You know, these movies you saw, like people living on Mars and the moon. It's like all coming true.
What was that Matt Damon movie where we were stuck out there?
Oh, yeah.
The Martian.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Terrifying.
It was a good one. But, you know, it's all coming true. Pretty incredible stuff. Let's take a look at the time lapse, and we've had a lot of clouds shift in here last couple of hours as more humidity moves in. So you'll see this morning cloud deck lasts a couple of hours, and then we'll get sun this afternoon. It'll turn into a pretty warm day. 78 degrees. Southerly winds at about 7 miles per hour. Humidity is at 87%. Temperatures 73 Kerrville, 75 New Braunfels, 76 Gonzales, 77 in Pleasanton, and then mid to upper 70s here around Bexar County. Heat index forecast today. With temperatures up around 96, you're going to see the heat index jump up to around 103 here in town. So that can be a little bit deceiving. Yes, we're not going to get into the triple digits as far as the air temperature is concerned, but that humidity will make a big difference. Forecast does call for about a 10% chance of rain. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot on the radar, but there could be a pop-up shower or two, and then by the afternoon, again, just a very small chance. Tomorrow morning, clouds shift in. Monday, I think our rain chances are a little bit better, but most of that's going to be relegated to the coast. We'll see some of those showers try to work a little bit further inland, so we'll call for a 20% chance of rain on Monday. And after that, rain chances get even better. And that's because we've got tropical moisture sitting off in the Gulf of Mexico. That starts to shift in tomorrow to the coast. So this orange color you see here, that's deep tropical moisture. And usually when we have that kind of air mass, it lends itself to these pop-up showers and storms, some of which can produce heavy rain. So just like last week, I think we're going to have a similar setup this upcoming week. And so by Tuesday and Wednesday, with some of this deeper moisture around, we're going to bring the rain chances up, and there could be some more good downpours. All good news here. Rain chances, 20% Monday, yes, but 40% Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And even Friday and Saturday right now I have 30%. I would not be surprised if we get to raise these rain chances as well. We'll be watching what's going on in the Gulf of Mexico. There could be more tropical moisture working its way into the area. And speaking of the tropics, let's see what's going on there because it is very busy. We've got a couple of systems out in the Atlantic that we're watching. One here that really isn't developed yet, but there's some indications maybe there could be some development, 20%. This is the one that is likely going to develop here soon. 60% chance, according to the Hurricane Center. This is probably going to move out into the Atlantic. And then there's another system up here just east of Bermuda that has the possibility of developing. But perhaps one area that we're watching closely is here in the Caribbean. There is nothing here yet. There's a wave. Doesn't have much thunderstorm activity with it, but as it moves into the Western Caribbean, a little bit more favorable development. Keep in mind, this is still a very low odds here, but as it crosses into the Gulf of Mexico, there is plenty of warm water to work with. We'll see what happens. There is nothing to be concerned about yet. Hopefully it just brings us some more tropical moisture and we get more rain. That would be best case scenario. 20% chance of rain tomorrow, 95, 92 Tuesday, 40% chance, and we'll keep that through Thursday. Temperatures stay in the low 90s. And then Friday, Saturday, as we said, probably more rain chances around here. We could see some pockets of heavy rain. So this is setting up to be, again, very similar to last week. And last week was good to us, so hopefully we'll get to add to the rain totals around the area.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. 647, 77 degrees out.
Still ahead, we've been talking about it all morning. And up next, we'll show you some highlights, the sights and sounds of the first ever successful, I would say this too, KSAT Pigskin Classic.
Good morning and welcome back. The music still pumps me up, I'm not gonna lie.
It's a good jam.
365 more days. All right, first ever KSAT Pigskin Classic. It is in the books. It was an amazing day, a full day of nail-biting games, 3 games in a row, all within one score.
Yeah, thousands of fans showed up and they showed out to enjoy the moment, cheering on their team in the triple header event. John Paul Barajas brings us some of the excitement from this weekend's action.
SK all day. Go Jags.
The KSAT Pigskin Classic kicked off early and didn't disappoint. 6 schools in a triple header event. Smithson Valley taking on Reagan, Judson versus Johnson, and to cap it all off, it was the Brennan and Steele showdown. From game 1 to game 3, the dome was packed and full of energy.
It's just fun. It's like special because is our senior year, so we really want to be able to do this.
First game of the year. It's really exciting.
First game at the Alamo Dome, like it's different.
I was sitting in the mid-level and I could hear fans above me cheering, so it's just so loud in there. It's a good experience.
From the bands having the dome rocking to all the hard-hitting high school football action on the field, those in attendance got the whole 9 yards.
It's awesome. It's giving that college atmosphere right now. It's crowded in here. It's crowded outside. We're actually tailgating outside. I mean, it's giving the college atmosphere.
But although the football fun is what drew in the crowds, the KSAT Pigskin Classic was about so much more than just the players. It extends to the band, the cheerleaders, dancers, so much more, and all their proud parents.
As a parent, I think it's just wonderful for us to be able to share in the joy that comes with this event.
And younger siblings.
What do you think about the KSAT Pigskin Classic?
Good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Would you come back?
Yeah.
Your big brother scored a touchdown today?
Uh-huh.
When we asked fans their thoughts on the inaugural event,
I think it really just brings the energy for the season, really sets the tone and gets the kids excited, and gets the city excited as well.
An event to remember for all of us. I'm sure it will have memories last a lifetime for these kids.
it's been a heck of a day. Non-stop football action from the morning to the evening, and you gotta love the power of sports bringing all these communities together right here at the Alamo Dome. Now, if you couldn't make it today, no worries, but you do want to make sure you sign up to be a KSAT Insider. That way you get a heads up on all the cool things we have coming up, as well as VIP experiences. And all you have to do that is go to our website, ksat.com. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And as part of the inaugural KSAT Pigskin Classic, 12 scholarships were given out to 12 local students throughout the San Antonio area. The recipients range from football players themselves to the musicians and performers participating in the halftime shows. To learn more about them and the scholarships, look for this article on ksat.com.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And it is. It's good! Let's go!
Oh, there it is.
So
boom.
There it is. In case I was a little worried about that part. In case you missed it yesterday, it was one of the best moments of our morning. Sarah Spivey trying a field goal. That was probably about college field goal or college extra point game, and she made it just ahead of the start of the KSAT Pigskin Classic. So did you think she was going to make it?
No. Because if you watched her first one,
right,
it was pretty bad.
Well, like I said in the broadcast yesterday, life's about progress. You live and you learn.
That's why I'm like her biggest cheerleader.
Yeah,
obviously.
Clearly. You were the only cheerleader.
Well, yeah, but I had to hype my girl. I was proud of you, Sarah.
That was perfect form.
Good job, Sarah. Justin is very proud of you as well. Time now, 6:54, 77 degrees out.
Here's what's coming up on Good Morning America.
Hey, good Sunday morning. Coming up here on GMA, overnight, former President Trump's team's request for an outside expert to review the evidence seized by the FBI at Mar-a-Lago. How a federal judge could respond as the intelligence community looks into the potential risks to national security. Plus, the NFL rookie facing rape allegations involving an underage girl. The civil claims against him and two college teammates. We're hearing from the player this morning, as well as the girl's lawyer. And the countdown is on for NASA's big launch tomorrow. How America is set to make history in space again with the Artemis 1. That's all ahead here on GMA. I'm Lise.
San Antonio police are investigating a shooting happening on the city's east side. Good morning. I'm Jonathan Cotto. Police responded to the 100 block of Orphan Street. This is on the east side near North New Braunfels and East Houston shortly after 11 last night. They say when they arrived, they found a victim in his truck with a gunshot wound to the body. Police tell us the victim in this case, a man in his 40s, drove home, called for help, and told police he had been shot, but it's unclear by who and where. Police tell us the victim's truck did have several bullet holes on the door. Now, the victim told police he was shot a couple of blocks away from his home. He was taken to BAMC. He is expected to be okay. Police are hoping to be able to question him later today. This case remains under investigation. Reporting Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
We're in the upper 70s right now. A lot of humidity out there, and that stays with us all day long. So 96 is the high, but the heat index will be up above 100 today. 95 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain. Then we bring the rain chances up Tuesday, really all the way into next weekend. I'm hopeful for some more good downpours. There could be some pockets of heavy rain here and there. This sets up pretty similar to last week. And so the hot summer that we had been experiencing, gone. Now we're looking at some pretty nice weather if you are a fan of rain, and I think we all are at this point.
So speaking of the rain, I know, a lot of local farmers in and around our area, they've had a tough drought. Is this going to help?
I think it will. I think it will. The soil moisture is a big deal when it comes to farming, and the soils were so dry for so long. So this is kind of getting us started. As long as we can keep this pattern going, I think it's going to bode well for farmers for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, coming up at 8 a.m. next, we have Leading SA.
We do have Leading SA, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage, talking about the local real estate market, what is happening now, where we've come over the last year, and what comes next. Not going to miss it. We'll see you back here, 8 a.m.
See you at 8.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
An overnight shooting on the city's east side. We have the latest from investigators and how the victim was finally able to get help.
Family members whose loved ones were victims of the deadly gun violence are again calling on the governor to make gun safety a priority. More in a rally at the Texas Capitol. That's straight ahead.
And we have Leading SA coming up. We're talking about the local real estate market. Taking a look out of the Alamo City. It is gorgeous out there. 77 degrees to start your Sunday morning. What is the rest of the day? What does the work week look like? We're going to check in with Justin in just a few moments. But for now, good morning. It is 8 o'clock this Sunday, August 28th. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. I got to say, doing the show in the studio at 8 a.m., it's a little weird after we were on the field all day yesterday.
I mean, we are on the field, and then we've come back to the studio.
We're lucky to be here. We're very happy. But we were...
It set the bar really high.
Yeah, we were spoiled yesterday. Got to throw the football around. You looked like CeeDee Lamb out there.
Well, thank you. I had a great quarterback, right into the hands.
Yeah, beautiful.
Right hands.
I was waiting for the Cowboys to reach out.
I'm still waiting on that
That's
call.
fair. All right, Justin Horn also out there. Justin, how was your KSAT Pigskin Classic?
It was a lot of fun. I'm just glad Sarah didn't pull a hamstring.
me too, Justin.
We don't need you both on the pup list.
No.
Yeah, it was awesome yesterday, and we're going to see a pretty beautiful day today, other than it is going to be hot and humid. I mean, we're used to that, right? But the heat index is going to get up above 100. It's not until next week that we get those rain chances back in the picture. So let's look at the headlines. It basically lays out what I just told you. We're going to see that humidity high enough today where we get the heat index 100 plus. Scattered rain returns next week. And what's going on in the tropics? Things are really starting to heat up on schedule. We would expect things to get a little busier this time of year, but will it affect us? Will we get some tropical moisture? It's a little complicated, but we'll take a look at it. 78 degrees right now. We've got mostly cloudy skies. Dew point is at 74. Feels like 81 outside. Temperatures are generally in the upper 70s right now. 78 San Antonio, 77 Hondo, 73 right now in Kerrville. A little closer look here at Bexar County. Temperatures are in the upper 70s, and that humidity is sky high. KSAT 12-hour forecast. By noontime, you're at 87. Partly cloudy skies today, 10% chance of rain. That's it. If we see anything on the radar today, it's going to be very isolated. 96 the high temperature. We fall down into the 80s by 8 p.m. Take away the rain chances, and then we pick them back up coming up tomorrow and again next week. Close look at that 7-day forecast is coming up in just a bit. Guys.
Thank you, Justin. New this morning, an East Side shooting ends with one man in the hospital, and police tell us he had to drive to find help. Now, SAPD says that this happened just after 11:15 last night. A man called 911 for help, claiming he'd been shot. When officers arrived to the home with the call, well, they found in the 100 block of Orphan Street, they found the man sitting inside his vehicle with a gunshot wound. Now, investigators say they noticed numerous bullet holes on the door of the vehicle. Officers say the man was actually shot a few blocks away, but police not able to find a crime scene just yet. That victim taken to the hospital in stable condition, but right now, investigators working to figure out what exactly happened and who is responsible.
Also new this morning, San Antonio police arrest a man for allegedly beating his father and his girlfriend with a gun. According to an arrest affidavit, 31-year-old Nicholas Campos was at his father's house last week when they got into an argument. Allegedly, Campos got a handgun and started waving it around and threatening his dad and girlfriend. The couple went outside to call 911, and that's when police say Campos started to leave but ended up hitting the couple with the butt of the handgun, then took off on a bike. Campos is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Family members of the victims of the deadly Robb Elementary shooting outside of the Texas state capitol yesterday, and they are demanding that Governor Greg Abbott call a special session. So those families, along with dozens of others, making the trip to Austin to take part in the March for Our Lives rally. And this event comes a little more than 3 months after the tragedy in Uvalde. Family members say easy access to the AR-15 style rifles. They say it's a major problem, and they want politicians, including the governor, to make it more difficult for just anyone to be able to buy them.
We've been in this fight, and Greg Abbott, I'm asking you to do something. You sat us at a round table, you promised a bunch of things to us, and you failed us.
Offering the Uvalde family members support during the rally were survivors and families from other mass shootings across the country, including some from the Santa Fe high school shooting. Remember, 10 people there shot and killed. Well, happening today, a special seminar taking place to assist hundreds of military survivors finding support as they grieve.
Our Jonathan Cotto is live downtown with the TAP seminar. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Max. And that's right, I'm here live at the Hyatt Regency in downtown, joined by Bonnie Carroll, founder and president of TAP's Good Grief Camp, which is aimed at helping so many families that are going through such a difficult time. Bonnie, thank you for being with us this morning. Talk to us a little bit about TAPS and what it stands for.
TAPS is a national organization for all of us who are grieving the loss of our military loved one. This weekend, we have hundreds of families who have come together to honor their hero, to remember lives lived in service to America, and to get resources and support, to know that they're not alone. But one of the best parts is our Good Grief Camp for the kids. So we've got not only our grieving children, but we've got military members who are trained to be one-on-one mentors for the kids. It really has been an absolutely fantastic opportunity to find out that we're not alone.
Bonnie, I understand that TAPS, you founded TAPS back in 1994, and prior to that, there wasn't an organization of this type that really focused on helping military survivors.
We are a community, and we're a community that's very proud of the service and the sacrifice made by our loved one. So that's what TAPS is all about. If you have families, viewers who are grieving a military loss, please visit taps.org. Check out everything that we have to offer. It's a wonderful resource of comfort and care.
Thank you so much, Bonnie. That's taps.org. If you're a viewer watching this and need help, need resources, and navigating a loss, this is what TAPS is designed to do. Back to you in the studios, Max. We're going to continue to hang out here with Bonnie and have more information on this wonderful organization coming up in the next half hour.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, according to Redfin, the average sale price of a home in San Antonio last month was $295,000. That's up 12% since the same time last year. But with the questionable national economy and an apparent pullback in offers on homes, how does the local real estate market look, and what comes next?
That's why joining us in today's Leading SA segment is Jack Hawthorne, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage. Good morning, Jack. Thank you so much for making time for us this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, Jack, are we starting to see a slowdown in the local housing market?
Well, you look at it in two different ways, right? So you have the number of homes sold, and then you also have the value of those homes. So the number of homes sold is absolutely slowing down a little bit. We've saw those units drop about 15% year over year. However, we're also seeing the price of homes still going up year over year, about 12%. So while we're seeing less homes sold overall, we're not seeing any of the values go down.
And we've heard that there is a national economic turmoil. So how does that affect us locally? Are we seeing that same here?
It makes sense. And so what happens for a lot of folks when a recession occurs, and, right now it's debatable on whether or not we're in a recession, depending on, who's up for election or what may be going on. What happens is enough people freak out about something, it can become a reality. In San Antonio, we have such a strong hyper-local market. It's propped up by a lot of different things that the national economy simply doesn't have the luxury of having. And so because of that, our market will likely grow a little bit slower than it's been growing, but there's no reason to believe it's going to go backwards.
So we've been talking for the last few months about some of the trends that you guys are seeing. What are those prominent trends right now, and where are people moving in and around our area?
Sure. So one of the biggest trends we've seen, and this happens every time the market moves, is rents have actually gone up about 21% year over year, which is a lot. And that's one of the things we say. It's like toothpaste. Once the toothpaste is out of the tube, it's probably not going back in. Rents don't go back down. And so we've seen a lot of people still moving from out of state to San Antonio. We've also seen a lot of people that have been priced out of Austin moving to New Braunfels and to the east side of San Antonio because it's much more affordable and it's about a 45-minute to an hour commute, depending on when you make it. That's one of the most surprising trends we've seen that we weren't really expecting.
Okay, so staying on that, I was going to ask you, so do you think what happened in Austin is going to happen in San Antonio? Since, you know, they're moving down to New Braunfels, the east side of San Antonio, will we eventually see the crazy prices like Austin is seeing in real estate?
So I certainly don't have a crystal ball. However, the reason I don't believe, right, I want to be honest, right, the reason I don't believe that's going to happen, though, is because Austin was designed intentionally to reject growth. And if you look historically, that's how it was designed. The original founders did not want that to happen. San Antonio is very growth-minded. They want to bring in economy. They want to bring people in and have it a very, you know, diverse economy with a lot of different services being offered. We also have the ability to expand in a lot of different directions. And so we see new builds and housing or, you know, tract builders coming in. They're throwing on a lot more inventory than they've been able to in the past. As supply lines start to free up a little bit, we see a lot of people still selling their homes and moving around. And so, no, we don't have any expectation that we're going to hit those crazy 25-30% appreciation years because that's not healthy, it's not sustainable, and it's really not good for the economy.
Now, we're seeing more people move from Austin, but during the pandemic, we saw people from around the country move to San Antonio. Are you guys still seeing a lot of out-of-staters move to our area?
Absolutely. So San Antonio is one of the most popular places nationally for people to move. The reason for that is because we have great infrastructure here, not necessarily, you know, public commute, but we have great infrastructure for a lot of housing. Even though we are in a shortage, there's still a lot more than there are in other places. We're a very affordable place to live. And it does seem that our local government is really pushing initiatives to put more money and more attention into areas of town that are traditionally underdeveloped or not as popular. So they're looking to spread that commerce around as much as they can. And that just gives a lot of opportunity for out-of-towners that they just didn't have elsewhere.
All right, Jack Hawthorne, CEO of Keller Williams Heritage. Lots of great insight into our local real estate market. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. And this full interview will be up on KSAT.com later this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jack. Time now, 8:11, 77 degrees out.
Well, NASA, at it again, has a mission to the mission. It's a story.
This is like the mission before the mission.
Yes, yes.
We're going to explain what exactly that means. All right. You know what yesterday meant?
What?
It meant the start of something great. Hopefully we keep this tradition alive. We had the inaugural KSAT Pigskin Classic yesterday. It was amazing. It was amazing for the players, the coaches, the band members, the cheerleaders, the families. It was amazing for us. I'm not gonna
lie.
Not gonna lie.
For us.
When we walked onto the field yesterday under the bright lights,
I think we all started kind of running.
Yes.
Whoa.
We're gonna have a full recap of yesterday.
Yeah. All right, 77 degrees at 8:12 this morning. Justin Horn is in for Sarah this morning. He'll have the full forecast when we come.
Good morning, welcome back, and hey, happy football season.
Happy football season.
KSAT Pigskin Classic kicked off yesterday at the Alamo Dome, and it did not disappoint.
It did not. 6 schools competed in a triple header event at the Alamo Dome to start the season with a bang. Smithson Valley taking on Reagan, Judson versus Johnson. To cap it all off, it was Brennan and Steele showdown.
All right, so from game 1 to game 3, the Dome was packed full of energy. The band had the place rocking, all the high school football action on the field, and those in attendance got the whole 9 yards.
It's fun. It's like special because it's our senior year, so we really want to be able to do this.
First game of the year. It's really
our last
exciting.
first game at the Alamo Dome, like it's different.
Honestly, all of the families, all of the players, all of the band members, all of KSAT, we were so pumped. You know, the power of sports, bringing so many communities together, one location, one beautiful location, and it was such a great day.
There's no other feeling than being in that dome, especially on the field. So if you couldn't make it out to the event, no worries. But you want to make sure you sign up to become a KSAT Insider so you can get a heads up on all the other cool events that we have coming up, including VIP experiences that you can do that by going to KSAT.com.
So it's funny because, you know, we were out there all morning, and I feel like Throughout the day, we saw more and more KSAT employees trickle in, and at one point, everyone was either a quarterback or wide receiver, but I never got to throw the long ball to Justin Horn.
I know.
I was waiting. I didn't get to go down to the field, but the games. So the first game was decided by a point, right?
Yes.
Second game overtime, third game decided by a point. That's good football.
That's great football.
That's just good football. Loved every minute of it.
You have something really cool behind you.
Okay, let me just preface this with I'm pretty sure everyone is sick and tired of hearing about my birthday.
No. I peer pressured you to put this on here because
Massey made it mandatory.
This is so cool, though.
It was.
First off, happy birthday, Justin.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. My family, got me this cake.
This is a cake. For anyone who thinks this is just a scraggled.
It's not the 7-day forecast.
No, this is a cake. This is amazing.
Incredible. Yeah, I was very thankful. Very blessed.
creative.
Yes. HEB. Shout out.
Was it
Shout out
yummy?
HEB.
Was it yummy?
Yeah. What was that?
Was it yummy?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's delicious. So thank you very much. Yes. Sorry. I am sorry. But anyway, let's talk about the hottest summers on record. And 2022, as of right now, as of Friday, was the hottest summer on record if we look at June, July, and August. Okay, so we haven't finished the month yet. It's entirely possible, just the way temperatures are looking, that we'll see temperatures below average, and that may drag this down into second place. I mean, we know it was a hot summer. June, July alone. August has been a little bit better. But it's possible we may finish in second place versus first place. I think that's a good thing. We'll see how it all ends up. But that's the situation right now. Forecast high temperature here in San Antonio today, 96 degrees. So we'll be at average, maybe a little bit above. Most places in the 90s today. The catch here, humidity is so high that the heat index is going to be up above 100. The forecast heat index right around 103 here in San Antonio. So say 4 or 5 o'clock, 96 the temperature, 103 heat index. Be careful out there. Those temperatures can be a little bit deceiving when you have humidity this high. 77 in New Braunfels, 78 Gonzales, 78 Pleasanton, 73 right now, Bernie Stage and Comfort. And as we look outside, we've got some clouds this morning. I don't think these will last all that long, but mostly cloudy. 78 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 74. It feels like 81. Here's the big picture. We've got showers and storms lining up along the plains moving into the Midwest. That disturbance well to the north, but most of Texas is quiet, at least for now. What we're watching, though, is some tropical moisture just off the coast that may bring us some better chances of rain. In the short term, just a 10% chance of rain today. I think 1 or 2 showers. Otherwise, most of us will be looking at dry conditions. Morning clouds tomorrow. This is 7 a.m. And then by noontime, we start to see some showers gathering along the coast. Those move inland, 20% chance of rain tomorrow. I mentioned some of that tropical moisture. That's this orange color here. That represents deep moisture in the atmosphere. And whenever we have an air mass like that, it usually translates to better rain chances. So by 5 o'clock tomorrow, that tropical moisture is right along the coast. That's where the best rain chances will be. But by Tuesday and Wednesday, this starts to move towards San Antonio. So we bring our rain chances up by midweek. And in fact, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right now we have a 40% chance of rain. Looks good for some scattered downpours. And I think even Friday and Saturday, depending on if we can get more tropical moisture on here and what happens in the tropics, we'll see some decent rain chances. And speaking of the tropics, let's see what's going on because it is busy. We have one little system out here, 20% chance of development. This one has the highest probability, 70% according to the Hurricane Center. This likely curves north. 10% chance for this one out in the open Atlantic. But it's this one here in the Caribbean that we're going to watch. There's actually nothing there yet. But once this wave makes it into the Western Caribbean, there's a small chance of development. If it were to move into the Gulf of Mexico, there's some warm water there. It's too early to be worried about this yet. It is something to watch, though, and we will. And should we get a named system, Danielle and Earl next in line. Forecast for today, again, up around 96, 10% chance of rain. We'll go 95 tomorrow, 20% chance. And there's that better shot at rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some pockets of heavier rain. That drags temperatures down some. Highs in the low 90s by the time we get into Tuesday, guys.
Love to see it. Thank you, Justin.
Yep. Thank you, Justin. 821, 78 degrees out.
Tomorrow, all eyes on the sky as NASA launches one of its newest rockets, the destination, the moon. Ooh. That story is still to come on GMSA.
Free for all.
Over 50 years after NASA's Apollo missions paved America's way to the moon, we're at it once again, counting down to the new era in space exploration.
Tomorrow, NASA set to launch the planned Artemis 1 mission, the agency's first launch of its new space rocket. So take a look. Like we've been talking about, it is 322 feet tall. It's actually taller than the Statue of Liberty. It is also the most powerful rocket ever built, but unlike SpaceX, this rocket is not reusable. Only the Orion spacecraft will return to Earth after it orbits the moon.
And no humans will be on board for this test. The plan is to build a moon base in the future. Pretty cool to be able to explore deep space. Now, Orion's trek back to Earth will reach speeds up to 25,000 miles an hour, generating temperatures of over 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot.
So, inside info over here. Not that inside because I did a story. Space Force. No, Port SA, they have a couple companies that are actually working on production that could go to the moon.
Very
and
cool.
build bases on the moon.
That story in KSAT.com?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.
Look at us, San Antonio connection. Time now, 8:26, 78 degrees out.
KSAT Pigskin Classic was an event like no other. 3 exciting high school football games that left you wanting more. Those highlights coming up.
Plus, up next, San Antonio police making an arrest in a deadly crash that happened at the beginning of the year. We'll explain who is now in custody. Good morning and happy Sunday. I'm Max Massey.
I'm Sarah Costa. It's Sunday, August 28th. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Yesterday, if you were waking up with us, well, we were at the Alamo Dome. Love being in the studio, don't get me wrong, but yesterday was just like adrenaline.
It's like way more toned down.
Way more toned down. The lights are a little less bright here in the studio, I gotta say, but all-star status over here. You're about to be an all-pro wide receiver.
You know, I'm trying. Is that what it's called, wide receiver?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was it. See, we're
You're
learning.
the quarterback. I'm the
one day at a time. We had Sarah Spivey kicking field goals.
She's our kicker.
1 of 1. Love it. Justin Horn. People don't even know this about you. You're like 6'4".
It's true.
Yeah.
We need you out there yesterday.
Really
listen,
did.
we need to work on your end zone dance, though, Sarah.
No, it was the,
Getting there.
We know there's the Gronk spike, but we have the Acosta spike now. 2 hands.
It was good. Hey, listen, if you're looking for some rain chances, you know, we had some last week. We've got some more headed your way. This is good news. As we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rain chances kick up. 40% chance. I think we'll see some more scattered downpours, maybe some good rain around the area, and that is, again, great news. Today, though, it will be hot, 96. Only a 10% chance of rain. That heat index is going to be up around 100 later today. Let's look at the numbers right now. We're at 78 degrees here in San Antonio, 74 in Kerrville, 77 in New Braunfels. Already up to 80 if you're watching us down in Cotulla. 81 in Castroville, too. So there's some warm spots out there. We've got clouds rolling in. By noontime, we're up to 87, partly cloudy. And then by this afternoon, 96, as I mentioned, with just that 10% chance of rain. Not a big deal. Temperatures down to 91 by 7 p.m. And then we'll get some southeasterly winds, probably in the range of 5 to 15 miles per hour. We'll take a look at those rain chances. We'll also look at the tropics. Once again, that's coming up in just a couple minutes.
Thank you, Justin. Happening right now, a grief seminar downtown. The goal to help military survivors deal with their grief.
Jonathan Cotto joining us live downtown with what is available through TAPS, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. Jonathan?
That's right, Max. You know, TAPS is an organization that was created and founded in 1994 with the effort of helping families, those individuals, survivors of a loss and who were in the military and died in some shape or form within their active duty service or even after. But here with me to talk a little bit about what a legacy mentor does within the organization is Jillian Cabrera. Good morning, Jillian. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, a legacy mentor, what is that and what does it entail?
A legacy mentor is somebody who went through the program as a red shirt. So I have personally lost somebody myself, as have all of the other legacy mentors. And after we graduated the program, we were not done quite yet, and we wanted to come back and help out other kids that have been in the same type of situations as us.
Now, Jillian, talk to me a little bit about how TAPS has impacted your life personally and how it's impacted your life now serving as a legacy mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a red shirt, I had a lot of mentors that honestly changed the trajectory of my life. I adore them. They have done so much for me as a person and in my grief. And so I wanted to come back and do the same for the other kids. And so I come back to as many events as I can, as many kids as I can help. I love these kids so much, and I want to be the person that I had as a mentor. And so my goal is to do just that.
Now, Jillian, if there's any words that you can offer to one of our viewers who may be finding themselves in a situation where they need help, they're dealing with the loss, they're trying to navigate the difficult waters of grief, what would you say to them right now?
It's kind of scary to deal with grief and to think about going to an event where you're surrounded by people that are also grieving. But this is a place that, honestly, it's so welcoming to be around people that have experienced the same type of thing with military loss, no matter what kind of loss that is. Even if we're not actively talking about that grief, it's just the comfort and the community that TAPS brings is just, it's life-changing. I mean, I came like 8 years ago, and I have never left. I come to as many events as possible. I love these people more than anything, and I don't know where I would be in my grief journey without them. And so it's definitely very, very important, I believe, to come to an event like this and meet people like this.
It's truly become a family, and I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Jillian, for being with us this morning. All the best. Max, Sarah, and that's what TAPS is all about. I spoke with a survivor earlier today who says that TAPS has truly become her family. She initially sought the program for her son, and little did she know that she herself needed the resources offered by TAPS. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jonathan. Top stories we're following this morning. A man in the hospital in critical condition after San Antonio police tell us he was shot multiple times during a road rage situation on the city's northwest side. So take a look. The shooting happened Saturday around 5 p.m. on Calabro Road and Loop 1604. Police on the scene say the driver of a Toyota Camry was stuck behind a pickup truck. The driver of the Toyota allegedly got out of his vehicle, fired multiple shots at the driver of the truck. Then the suspect drove off. Right now, police still investigating, trying to find out who exactly pulled the trigger.
A series of shootings in Converse lands 5 juveniles and 3 adults in the Bexar County Jail. BCSO officials say it started when deputies checked out a home on Estrid Trail after reports of several shootings. When deputies were able to get inside, they arrested 3 adults and 2 juveniles. 2 more juveniles were arrested at the site of the home. Officials say the last juvenile made it inside a nearby Walmart, causing the store to be evacuated as a precaution. He was eventually arrested. Officials say no one was injured from any of those shootings.
A woman now facing charges in connection to leaving the scene of a deadly crash from earlier this year. So this is 29-year-old Mercedes Haynes. Now she's charged with failure to stop and render aid, resulting in death. The crash happened back on January 23rd. Police tell us 30-year-old Mariano Lugo was riding his motorcycle, ignored a red light at the intersection of South Cross Boulevard. Lugo then crashed into a Honda. A security camera footage from nearby, a grocery store nearby, it actually captured the aftermath of the crash. It showed Haynes with 4 other people gathering in items from inside and then taking off. Haynes' bond now set at $40,000.
In your morning headlines, nearly 200 people are dead across the border in Afghanistan after weeks of severe flooding. Taliban officials say hundreds more have been injured and thousands of homes have been destroyed. They're appealing to aid organizations to send emergency assistance and long-term aid.
Now to the latest in the war in Ukraine. Russian rockets and artillery strikes, they're hitting areas across the river from Europe's largest nuclear power plant. It's a terrifying situation as fear persists that fighting in the area could damage the nuclear power plant and could cause a radiation leak. Russian forces took control of the power plant soon after the war began, and Russia actually holds the adjacent territory along the left bank of that wide river. Now, Ukraine, they control the right bank, and they control areas just 6 miles away from the nuclear power plant.
And this week on Wednesday marks 25 years since Princess Diana's death. Diana was riding in the car with her then boyfriend in Paris as the paparazzi chased them on August 31st in 1997. Their driver was reportedly drunk, then crashed into a tunnel near a river. Everyone inside died. Diana was 36 years old. A quarter of a century later, she is remembered for her charity, her work, her iconic style, and her charm.
Well, a federal judge in Florida now asking the Justice Department to provide more specific information about those classified records, those records that have been removed from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
This is the judge considers appointing a special master to review those seized documents. ABC's Christine Sloan has the latest.
A federal judge appears to be leaning toward appointing a special master to oversee the review of evidence federal investigators recovered from their search of Mar-a-Lago. Former President Donald Trump's legal team made the request. In a notice posted Saturday, the judge who was appointed by Trump scheduled arguments for September 1st. The director of national intelligence is set to evaluate the potential risks to national security that may have resulted from classified documents being held at Mar-a-Lago. Democratic House committee chairs had pushed for a review, saying after seeing the unsealed affidavit, quote, "It is critical that the intelligence community move swiftly to assess and, if necessary, to mitigate the damage done." The affidavit was used in the FBI request for a warrant to search Mar-a-Lago. The document is highly redacted. The DOJ explained those redactions, writing the government has well-founded concerns that steps may be taken to frustrate or otherwise interfere with this investigation if facts in the affidavit were prematurely disclosed.
The affidavit itself even says that it requests to be sealed because there are unidentified parties that they are still looking at and other charges that could come out of this.
Former President Trump has been critical of the investigation and claims he did nothing wrong. But despite his criticism of the redactions in the affidavit, his legal team did not argue for its release in court. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, the inaugural KSAT Pigskin Classic at the Alamo Dome. It was a touchdown for local high school football. And we have all the highlights from all three games, and all three within just one score of each other. All right, so let's start with the first matchup. Number 5, Reagan hosting number 4, Smithson Valley. Reagan down 7-0. Giuseppe says he blocks the punt. Donnie Lawrence recovered it in the end zone. Touchdown Rattlers. The extra point was actually blocked, and the Rangers led 7-6. We saw running back Carson Green healthy, back for the Rattlers, and he would go 55 yards to the end zone. Reagan led 13-7.5. Fourth quarter, same score. There we go. Score one in the keeper. The Rangers take the lead 14-13, block a 39-yard field goal attempt late in the fourth quarter. Smithson Valley wins 14-13. Game 2 of the tripleheader, Judson taking on Johnson. So we're picking up things late in the fourth quarter. Hawkins fires a beautiful pass in the front corner of an 11-yard touchdown. Jags were actually down 2 with less than 20 seconds to go. Hawkins would score the 2-pointer, and 43 headed to OT. Now, Hawkins passed for 317 yards, 5 touchdowns. Johnson went 3 and out in the first OT. And, well, there you go. Rockets win 46-43. And the final game saw the top 2 teams in the city, Brennan taking on Steele. And in the first quarter, Steele up 7-0. Running back Jaden Bailey breaking this 83-yard run right up the middle, putting the Knights up 14-0 after one. But the Bears, they would roar back to life in the second. 7 seconds left before halftime. Ashton DeBose, Armando on the slant, 12-yard touchdown, tied at 14 going into the half. Game tied at 28, a little more than a minute to go. Brennan on the steal, 38. DeBose takes the snap, drops it. Woo! There we go. Jason Love, screen, look at him go. I mean, that's just how you draw it up. The Bears missed the extra point. It is 34-28. Bears giving the Knights some hope. Last chance for Steele on 4th and 7 on the Bears 11. Chad Warner, he is running out of the pocket, escapes to the right, fires it to the back of the end zone. Toe tap like you read about, the back of the end zone for the touchdown. They need the extra point to take the lead. It is good. The Knights win a thriller 35-34, an instant classic of the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Literally couldn't have scripted these games better.
Felt like I was watching college football there.
It was amazing. It really did. I mean, shouts to all the KSAT production because it looked
the production,
amazing.
The players, and you're also playing in the Alamo Dome.
That's true. It was such a great day.
Awesome.
Time now, 8:43, 78 degrees out.
All right, here's my play of the day for my friend Sarah Spivey. There she goes. Oh. Did she actually make it? We'll let you know when we come back.
Let's take a live look out at the Alamo City. 78 now. What does the rest of the day look like? When will we see rain? Will we see rain? We're going to check in with Justin Horn in just a bit.
Okay, I'm nervous.
And it is
good! My girl, Sarah Spivey.
Wait for it.
Boom. Got to be her #1 cheerleader.
So you might have missed it yesterday morning, but our very own Sarah Spivey kicking a field goal ahead of the start of the KSAT Pigskin Classic.
That was her redemption kick, and I'm so proud of her.
It was, the form was so perfect.
Look at that excitement. It's like we're like 2 children.
Yeah, no, I think everyone who was on the field yesterday kind of acting like a child, but it was also because so many of us, you know, were hanging out on the college field.
It was
fun time.
It was so much fun.
I so proud. I mean, that kick was perfect. It was right down the middle, and then you guys sprinting but just.
You know who actually has a pretty good arm? Mike Osterhage. So I think that the KSAT weather team could actually put together a good flag football team.
There's no doubt about it.
Challenge.
Weather v News. You got to give me a year.
Put that out there. No, and Mike played softball with us. He did a great job.
What was that brief pause, Justin?
There was no pause. There was no pause.
There was definitely a pause.
May have been a rotator
We love you,
cuff
Mike.
but that's
you did
for another
great,
day.
Mike.
He did. Let's take a look at a KSAT Connect picture here. This is a great shot of the lizard, the Texas spiny lizard. You've seen these around. They're kind of everywhere these days. I feel like I've seen a lot of lizards this year.
So many of those in my yard.
Yeah, and they're big. They're great to have around. They eat up all the insects. Yeah, it's a great shot. We appreciate it as always on our KSAT Connect. Let's take a look at the time lapse here. We've got some clouds rolling in, and we're at looking at mostly cloudy conditions right now. Temperatures 78 degrees at the airport, 87% on the humidity, south-southeasterly winds at about 8 miles per hour. 73 Rock Springs, 75 in Uvalde, 78 New Braunfels, 80 in Gonzales, and a lot of upper 70s here around San Antonio at this hour. It's warm, it's muggy, dew points in the upper 70s, and this is about as humid as it gets around here. So we know the humidity is going to be very high throughout the day, not just this morning. And when you put that together with the high temperature of 96, heat index is around 103. So this afternoon is going to be pretty rough temperature-wise. And we look at the radar right now. We've got some showers along the coast. They're not having much success working inland, and I don't expect them to. We could see a stray shower today, but the chances are really pretty low, about 10%. This is 6 o'clock today, 1 or 2 isolated showers there showing up. By tomorrow morning, we start off with some clouds, as we typically do, and then by the afternoon, more showers developing. Now, this time, we get a little more action along the coast, and I think a few of those showers do eventually work their way towards I-35, so 20% chance coming up tomorrow. And rain chances in general really start to jump up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The reason why, we got a good area of tropical moisture moving in. It's more of a tropical air mass. We may have a weak boundary to work with too, some outflow boundaries, and that should kick up scattered showers and storms. Some good downpours, pretty similar to last week. And as we take you out to the tropics, this is an area that's really starting to heat up. I know we showed you last hour, but I think it's worth showing you again because we're starting to head towards the peak of hurricane season, and it shows. We've got one little area here, about a 20% chance of development. Of imminent concerns, this system right here, 70% chance of development according to the Hurricane Center, so this likely is going to become a tropical storm here soon. With this one, though, it looks like this is going to try to curve out into the Atlantic. We'll keep you posted there. In the meantime, there's another little system here that has a very low chance of development. The other area we've got to watch is here in the Caribbean. 20% chance of development by Thursday, so we still have some time to watch it here. There's really nothing there. We're waiting for a wave to move into this area, and that's when it could be more conducive for development. And then past that, the question becomes, does it make it into the Gulf of Mexico? Would it throw some moisture in our direction? Possible, but far, far too early to go down that road. So it is something we'll keep an eye on. In the meantime, just some general tropical moisture working on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Again, some pockets of heavy rain potentially in spots. Temperatures will fall into the low 90s for highs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we still got rain chances going into Friday and Saturday. So this 7-day forecast, much like last week, is encouraging.
Thank you, Justin.
Time now, 8:51, 79 degrees out.
Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, Americans drank more during COVID, and it appears that trend, well, it's continuing. You may be a long way from rock bottom, but how do you know if you're in the gray? Find out tomorrow on GMSA.
Personal loan.
Welcome back. The pollen count just came in. Molds are still high, 1,070, but still falling from where they have been last couple days. Fall elm also high. That jumps up today, 530. And then pigweed is low. Your extended forecast We're looking at 96 degrees today, just a 10% chance of rain, 20% chance Monday. Better chances Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Could see some scattered downpours and some pockets of heavy rain. And very quickly, want to give a shout out to my daughter, Haley. Her birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Weekend of family birthdays for you guys.
Yes.
So do you have a party for her today?
So she had her party yesterday. Yeah, but we'll probably do something as a family today to celebrate both birthdays.
Oh,
Justin
happy
Horn.
birthday.
Happy birthday
Horn
to your
family.
daughter. Happy birthday to you. Working the whole weekend on the birthday. Like a champ.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
Happy Sunday.